Alrighty, we are live. Hey everybody, I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David? Now, today we're giving our P-51D a blackwash. Now, for those unfamiliar with the process, it's a pretty simple one. You pretty much just slap black paint on and you wipe it off. Why, you may ask? And it's a pretty valid question. It helps bring up the detail, as you will hopefully see. Ordinarily in this process, I would use a heavy enamel. I can't find my enamels. I'll just use an acrylic. I don't think it's going to make that many odds. I think I'm possibly being a little precious. Precious. No, wrong type of precious. I digress. Yeah, these are the nuts and bolts, people. Now, as always, I need to get into position. Over to here. Now, here's the thing. Doing a blackwash. Actually, first. Clearly, you can see I'm not focused. We all know what I need to fix that up. Oh, fuck yeah. Let's get this camera around. Now, let's clear the deck. This is 109 stuff. I do not need this here. This is for the Frankenstein stage. Do not need this here. Trying to think if there's anything else I can cannibalize off of this. No, but I can get some ideas for painting, perhaps. Thrubbing. Anyway, if you guys ever wonder where I get the thrubbing from, that's Stickman and the Throbbing, a movie from the 80s featuring one John Holmes. And it was one of the first dodgy vids me and my mate saw when we were teenagers. That line has always stuck with me. Now, where to put our 109 shit? Bring this over. There we go. There's a nice, easy and obvious answer. Over there. Now, dear oh dear. Did you see that? I don't know if you did. I dragged the entire fuselage of the 109 across. I had to do a bit of a deft catching maneuver. Now, and that goes over as well. Okay, that's that area out. You can see I got my shit together after yesterday, can't you? Dear oh dear oh dear. Now, we're not going to need our good brushes. We're going to need a crap brush for this. Now, just put these over to here. There. Right, now, in many ways, I've got to say, for the next point of things to do for a blackwash, I don't know why I even bother putting the stuff on. Do not do a blackwash with bling attached. It's a mucky business, so much so. Oh, hey, Bassman, how you doing? So much so that, give me a moment. Tingling. Jacket off. And roll sleeves up. This is going to get a little savage, man. Now, I don't have to go. Do I think? Actually, I will go acrylic because they're slightly thicker than our lacquers when we're doing this. So, what we'll do, let me just get my sleeves up. There we go. Oh, my arms are getting smaller. I remember the days when I could only go 2 rolls up. Now I can go 3. I can actually get past the elbow. Dear oh dear. Now. No. All right. Next. I want probably this one, I think. Boom. Excuse me. Now, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your... Oh, stop. Shake. Who was that? I know it was somebody from the 70s. Or was it even the 80s? I don't know. Alrighty. Now, what we're going to do, I need... Give me a moment. Piece of paper will do it. Hang on. This will, in fact, this has already been used for that very purpose. Fantastic. It's, didn't even bother opening. This is from my last address. Sent to me by the sitting member, or then sitting member of office when the election was on. My interest? Nil. Now, let's grab a piece of, in fact, a couple of pieces of paper towel. A brush suited to the purpose, being probably this one. Loosen that up a bit. There we go. And I'm going to get a bit messy here myself. Oh, we'll do this first. Anyway, now, so get a bit of paint. Slap it out. Yes, it worked fine. And now, there we go. Oh, beautiful. Boom. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, I will now illustrate for you. Give you the... That's what happens when you do it, as opposed to... So, to my mind, it's a process worth doing. There is actually a video on my page. YouTube page, or YouTube channel rather, about blackwashing. And to my mind, as it brings up the detail like that, nice and cleanly, is well worth doing. You do have to be a little careful, in as much as I have before I was aware of just how much. You see, I'm quite rough with it, and something you can do if you're not careful, not aware of what's there, is actually snap stuff off. I've done that, and put that in the bloody paint. Nice one, big boy. So you do need to be a little aware of what you're dealing with. With some of the smaller parts, yeah, a little bit of a gentle approach certainly doesn't hurt. Yeah, I'll be showing that in due course. So yeah, now because we're getting into a bit of a nitty-gritty spot there, we'll do both sides and then wipe them out. Into there. There we go. Yeah, bring up that detail, by golly. There we go. That's well, there's good detail there, options there to work with. As far as it goes, once I finish the. Oh, hey Manuel, how you doing, buddy? I'll give you a zoom in now. I find this a curiously satisfying process, actually. Not quite sure why, but I do. We're not going into ABBA. No, we're not. There we go. Oh, yeah. We got a bit to work with there, kids. Excellent. Alrighty, now. After yesterday, I'm thinking of doing a vid on the Franken build for the P-51B, or however you use the P-51B with this, and also on just how to get the kit. But I got the kit apart because I think it could be very useful information for some people as to how easy it actually is. So yeah, just got to get my shit together on that one. There we go. Now I'm going to put some fresh paint out shortly, but in the meantime, give me a moment. So in the wheel wells, you've got a bit we can work with there. Zoom in. Yeah, even further. There we go. So we got a bit to see detail there. So we'll have joy, we'll have fun, we'll have painting, and I'll stop singing then. But yeah, there we go, and there's the rest of the wing. Didn't come up so thick there. Here. Alrighty. Now, pop that over to there. I can pop that up there for the time being. Bit more paint. Might as well do the fuselage. I'm going to get some paint on my hands along the way, but it's an acrylic, so I'm not so bothered. Now we'll start with the inside. There's not much to see, but let's see what there is. Now, this is a good example of where a bit of delicacy is required, because there is actually a piece there. We're just going to sort of rub around, feel it, while still getting it. The blackwash all on its own. Yep, there we go. Give you a zoom in on that in a moment. Now, there we go. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not great. It's not that bad. All right. So on the inside of this one, we got that. Now, I do have a part from the P-51B that I'm going to be gluing in there. Now, the trick's going to be bearing in mind that that's there and there's a thing there as well. We'll have a bit of a look-see at that when the time comes. It's a whole other story. In the meantime, now, here we go. Slap, 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 slap. And we'll wipe that off. Now again, I do need to be aware of that little gun sight thing, which I think is actually really cool. I like it. I do. There we go, clean that out. Clean that out. There we go. A bit more there perhaps. And then this end. Now, dealing. Almost there on this one. All right. Now, portion through here. There we go. It looks, we're going to be a bit cautious. They're like, they've set the kit such that it's going to have to be on the ground, because, and I say that based on, or maybe there's a thing on the assembly sheets that allows you to change that, which is fine. I was always going to do that. But if you look, give me a moment. And actually, this might be confirmed shortly. Yeah, it looks that way. Oops, that days. Let's not drop that, Rob. What what we have is the rear wheel flap already in position. Now, I've got to say two things about that. Well, hell, that's not a bad little move. Saves me doing it. Those little ones can be a complete pain in the ass. Thank you, linesman. Thank you, ball boys. But I'm curious. I might actually check that out whilst it's on my mind. While I'm here as well, something I kind of like that they've done here as well in that same sort of a vein. Get right in. There we go. Is the little sighting mechanism that we've got there to work with now. I'm going to get a bit of focus on that. Yeah, there we go. Now, hey Hugo, how you doing? Now, what I want to check, just for my own curiosity as much as anything else, before I continue, is on their sheets with that rear. It doesn't really speculate about options on that, as far as I'll show you what I mean. Give me a moment. So, zoom. Okay. Yeah, they have it very much set and geared for being on the ground because they are already in position, open. Now, I would suggest, hang on, here we go. I tell a lie, various parts installation. So I guess what they're looking at there is how you go about that. I guess it's pretty obvious. If you want to have it in flight, you would necessarily trim that off. But they've got it well geared for for being on the ground, I must say. Okay, now that that little inquiry is complete, let's see what's on the inside of this side. Again, not much, mind you. Again, I looked at the side of the P-51B. Now, I reckon there's something there that could be a good guide for when we put the breathing apparatus in. I'll point that out if I'm correct. Not really. Once I finish this, it's really not very much there at all. I'll show you some of what we can do as far as putting stuff from the P-51B into this goes. Now, yeah, not much going on there. Now, I do have the breathing apparatus that I'll be putting in. It'll sort of go around there, sort of a drill I would expect. I'll see what else I can work in with that. I am considering very seriously snaffling some of the decals from the haven't done the outside yet. Excuse me. P-51B, because it might be a good way of fleshing out some parts of this. If I'll have a look at what's there may be a few things. They may have decals that go in here as well. You never know. I'll check that out first. But it's an option I have if I'm cannibalizing, I may as well as cannibalize majorly, you know what I mean? Throw the whole box on dice, as it were. So, sorry, need to zoom you out. Yep. There we go. And to there. There we go. There we are. All right. Boom. Oh, and then we've got to do the front. Not boom. Boom at the back. Now, once I've done the front, I'll give you another quick zoom in. Then we can start getting onto these other smaller stuff, or this smaller stuff. All right. Now, excuse me. I'm coughing a lot lately. Not quite sure what's going on with that. Don't feel unwell. Could be the time of year. I do remember, depending on what pollens are in the air, or I don't remember, but I have had experiences where, depending on what pollens are in the air at what time of year, we used to live in a place called Glenelg, which is down by the coast. I was going to zoom in, wasn't I? So yeah, this side, much the same as the other one. Boom. Now they've got their vents printed there, but as the bulk of this is silver anyway, or aluminium rather, it's not really going to be a big issue. Here we go. Yeah, I'm good. I'm almost walking without a walking stick. Almost. So I'm healing, and that's good. Now that's an important part. Now propeller blades don't really require this. It's not like there's any great detail to be brought up. That's the dashboard. We're not using that. We're not using the seat. Now this we can do a bit of work. Something we can do quite neatly then. I don't think that they propeller blades as well potentially, or they something else. Rubbing. This is a bit intriguing. Anyway. Now, the only stuff out of here we're going to be using by the looks is going to be there. Those two. And let's have a look at this. There's no great detail to be brought up on that. There's a little bit on this. So we'll get onto that. It's a big improvement, mate. It's been 4 weeks since the surgery, so that's a good step forward. I'm feeling that I could possibly drive again. That's been a little while. I better just freshen this brush up a bit. And I wouldn't mind just going for a bit of a see how I go sort of a thing. Because yeah, you can't drive within 4 weeks of surgery anyway. Or if you do, and have a collision, this is what the law is over here and how it's viewed over here. You're viewed as most likely to be responsible, even if the other person's hugely at fault. It's just how it rolls. Don't ask me what the logic on that is. Be that as it may, it is now over 4 weeks, 4 weeks and 2 days to be precise. And I'm feeling like I could do it, and that would make my life a lot easier. So I'll be able to go to the shops and shit, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, now, good people. Let's get back to the matter at hand. All right. Paint. Let's freshen this paint up, shall we? These are, I'm planning on using these to wipe up with, and they're getting blown around because I'm in front of the aircon. Now, I could turn the aircon off, but because this is very much a sleeves up, jacket off maneuver, I'm not in a great hurry to do that. Don't even go there, cutie guy. Don't even. I'm having faith. I have built a Hasegawa kit before. They're pretty nice. Actually, here's something I've got to share with you guys. Excuse me. On the topic of Mustang aircraft, to be precise. I have got I will build a P-51B. I've got the Academy on its way. Excuse me. I've got the Academy P-51B on its way. Anyway, I got that on eBay. I thought, you know what I want? Because one of the things I actually genuinely did want but couldn't find, or a good one of, but then and then did a bit of what you may have heard me refer to before as Google Foo. Excuse me, while this is being a little bit delicate, which is not surprising because it is a delicate part. I still want to get, there we go. There we go. A bit here. Anyway, I wanted to build one of the original Mustangs. Before they were the P-51A even. There was a British, the Mustang was made to a British specification, and in the final analysis, I'll just show you what I've done there on this, it didn't really live up to expectations with its standard engine, and then it ended up getting mostly used as a reconnaissance aircraft. And I wanted to build one of those because they were the precursor to the P-51s. And a bit further perhaps, there we go. And you can see there's a little bit on there that will hopefully come up when the time comes. It'll come up better than if I didn't do that, if you follow me. Now we'll pop that over to here. Anyway, so what I did was I tracked one down. Italeri make one in 1:72. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So I scored that as well. And on my search, because I was doing that on eBay, which can come up with some. What I'm going to do here, just for my own personal ease of handling, let's just trim this down a bit. Anyway, was a twin Mustang at an affordable price. What's more, the only other time I've seen it is from Revel, or Monogram, I think it was, but that's Revel. And to get one would cost me a ridiculous amount of money. Now, I found one for what I viewed as an acceptable price, but it's from a company I've never heard of. And they sound as etchy sketchy as all hell, but you never know. I'll give them a go. In the final analysis, I just decided that, well, if I were to have the twin Mustang, then I would have all of them. And you never know. Just because I haven't heard of the company doesn't mean they're not good. I might be pleasantly surprised. There might be a new company who's come out and really want to make the mark, you know. Let's see. But yes. So yeah, I'm not sure if the early model Mustang that I have, or coming, has what insignia it has. Either way, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's going to be one of those ones that has the. I can't remember what engine it had before the Merlin, but I know it was the addition of the Merlin that made it the legend. Because it improved the performance and everything else, and then it was like, well, why don't we do this with it, and this, and this, and then, well, I believe it was, Goering, even drug-addled though he was, he said, when I saw Mustangs over London, I knew the game was up. Not over London, over Berlin. I knew the game was up. Yeah, mate. Certainly was. Fighter escort all the way. What you gonna do? So yeah. So I've got a few different little options coming in due course. That we can work through. Bearing in mind, I'm also, of course, doing all the 109s in different. Something I should actually show you. When we get to the 109E series, I have a few options on different insignia, being one of them being Japanese. Now let me just check something here for a moment. No. Oh, I'll just do the exhausts. Because the Imperial Japanese Air Force was sent a 109 E7 and Focke-Wulf 190 for R&D, research and development. And I believe they still preferred their own Zero, but they did like the power plant of Lumo, I think it was the one they liked. I don't know if much happened beyond them going, oh, I like that. But yeah. All right. But I do have it, or the potential of a 109 with Japanese markings. I also have the option of a 109 with British markings, because one was captured, of course. Again, R&D. The Merlin. Yeah, here we go. Can't help myself. Now, Merlin, as in the fictional Merlin, was of course a wizard. Now, I'll also get to another point of this shortly. And I know that amongst certainly when you're talking about the classic upper crust, old school English sort of phrases, if something's wizard, it's extremely good. And you got to say, if the Merlin engine named after a wizard, and it certainly was, you know what I mean? It was a wizard engine. But as a quick little aside, the engine that replaced it in the Merlin, excuse me a moment while I just, in the Spitfire was the Griffin engine. And whilst that, and I guess what you can look at there is that apparently engines by Rolls-Royce tend to be named after certain themes, and I guess you can look at that being the Arthurian legends. You got Merlin, Griffin. Griffin's a mythological creature from that sort of a tale. Okay, so what we've got here, let's give you a quick zoom in. So yeah, and I believe a lot of the jet engines are named after rivers. The Avon, mate of mine knew them pretty much. I was able to list them off, but yeah. So there's our tailpieces. I haven't bothered them because there's nothing much to detail on them. Exhausts, wheels. All right. Now, almost done. Jolly good. Okay, drop cylinders. They look pretty. Are they smooth? No. Let's see what we find here. Oh, a little bit of stuff to work to bring comes up. There's definitely a bit here. Oops, a daisy. Into there. Sorry, guys, I should be a bit more. There we go. And there. There we go. All right, and here. There we go. Beautiful. Well, not beautiful, but the details there. That'll. The rest of it we can even. There we go. Gotcha now. That's a bit loose. I might spare that. All right. These ones. So I might freshen that paint up. Oh, where is it? Here it is. I don't know if they have bombs so much as drop tanks. So we'll see what the options are here when they, as we go through. But I'll certainly give them all a black wash, so all the options are there. We'll see. Alrighty. There we go. Nice. Into there. There we go. And here. There's bits on here that are worth, certainly have made it worth having done this. There we go. I'll give you a zoom in. We're getting there, people. Now, this time. Oh, it's a messy job. Yeah, but hey. Now, in this instance, we've gotten these little edges coming up nicely. So that was the, yeah. Yeah, it is messy, but the other side of this, in this instance here, is that this is, I'm using an acrylic, so it'll wash off nice and easy. And indeed, water. Now, we'll finish off their tanks. There, through there. All right, now, so I'm just having a bit of a look at what we've got here. All right. We'll start off. Well, there's a couple of bits here that are very small. We're going to be very delicate with them. or very gentle with them rather. Foist, we will go, we might as well go line across, line across. These are on this side. Now, we can get behind. What do we have here? I wonder what they're meant to be. Oh well, all will be revealed in time. You get a zoom in yourself in time, guys. They're just going to be into there. Right. Jolly good. Now, don't need to worry about that because I'm using the yoke out of the P-51B. Now, do both sides of these right now, right here, right now. Oops. Oh, that'd be good. For a moment, I thought I'd done a bit of. There we go. That's all good. A bit more caution here. Into there. Oops. Yeah, one of these is coming loose. That's okay, though. I can. I might even just pop it in the blue box, depending. I prefer to leave it on the sprue. Yeah, I can. Good. Now, rear wheel. Now, almost there. And then, once I've gotten all this done, we'll have a bit of a look at how some things will go into the side of the cockpit. Something I can probably do off camera is both hit all of this with surfacer and a lot of it with aluminium. Yes. Now, anyway. So, I'll just finish this other bit off. There's little bits here to be done. Now, not sure if there's anything on there, but we'll find out. Not really. Now, there's a little bit on here. Might be some on that. there is. Aha. And now these two bits, which are going to be very delicate. Ding. Wonder what they are. Once I've done them, the power of curiosity will compel me to find out. All right. Now, I'll give you a zoom in. Then I'm going to find out what 22 is. And we'll go that way up. All right. So we've got more drop tanks there. We've got wheel stems, rear wheel. I'll show you the inside of them in a minute. Show you the other side of them in a minute. Here we go. Now we've got a vent thing there. Cover there. And these two weird tiny things that are and there's the inside of the wheel covers. All right, and there's the other side of them, whatever they are. All righty, now might find out. I'll clean this brush first. Before we do the last bits that we require to be blackwashed. Now, so it was parts number 22, I think it was. There we go, what the devil. 22 and 3 and 4. Let's have a look just for my own curiosity. And then we can continue with finishing the blackwash. Now you'd think 3 and 4 really early on, wouldn't you? Let's have a gently. Just look out for the numbers. I think it's probably the easy option. Well, that's intriguing. 22 and 3 and 4 is what we're looking for. And it would appear that they actually don't get used on this kit. All right then. Oh, hang on. Ah, found where some of them are. Okay, they support the drop tanks. And to that end, we're going to need to open a hole. We're going to need to do some drilling in the wing. Okay, that's fine. So where's, but still no sign of 22. Interesting. The plot thickens. Okay. Well, at least we found out what they are. At least that satisfied my curiosity there. All right. Last bit of sprue to work with. Now. Not particularly. I don't have any particular favorite. Same as I don't have a particularly favorite 109. Oh, that's not entirely true. I suppose the classic would be if you were to say to me, what is the classic 109, I'd probably go the G6. Do I like it more than the E4 or the K4 or no? But it is the quintessential one. You know what I'm saying? In the same way that the P-51D is the quintessential Mustang. Is it better? And you're always going to find it easier to get a P-51. There's always going to be a P-51D kit put out by a manufacturer. You can always guarantee that. Here's a fun fact for you. Put it to you like this. My favorite Mustang's the car. Wouldn't mind getting into there a bit with the toothpick, just to, yeah, it's better. You want definition, but you don't necessarily want full black in there. All right. All righty, there we go. Now, and down we go. Right. That's them from that angle. This angle. Now, don't know. Actually, I should put some more paint out, Rob. Oh, no, I already did. That's this stuff, isn't it? Now, there we go. go. All right. And finally, oops, up here. All right. Clean. Actually, no. This first. There we go. Now, I'm going to do it again. Just first, I'm going to clean the brush. Then I'm going to get a bit of toothpick action. I'm done on that. And then I'll zoom in. Then we're going to have a look at a few things as far as what we're going to put on where. Yeah. The car, look, don't get me wrong. I do obviously like the P-51 aircraft. But Mustang car, yeah, baby. And also bear in mind that the Mustang does not get the jersey as my favorite aircraft. That goes to the 109 still. So, yeah. There we go. Nice. That's good. Clean that area around a bit. There we are. And all right. Here we are. So here's our floor of the cockpit area, and also the. I might get. Give me a moment here. Is that just shadow? Oh yeah, that's okay. It's just shadow. But yeah, you can see we've still got good detail on that through there for our floor area. Yeah. All right. Now we zoom out. We're going to pop this somewhere that I don't put my arm in. Over to there will do. We're going to grab the fuselage halves. Now, things we're looking at putting in. That, but not yet. That's not relevant yet. I want to look at that. And this. All right. Now, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically, guys. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. So, I'm going to need to change your angle quite dramatically. For you to be able to see what I'm doing, that is. Now I'm going to get a mouthful of coffee. Okay, yum. Zoom in. Now, and drop camera sharply to about there, I reckon. On this side, I want to put this piece here. Now this, okay, was part of the P-51B, and went on that side of there of the cockpit. Give me a moment. So yeah. Now, what I'm thinking, let's just have a bit of a look-see. Because tomorrow we might get stuck into getting this cockpit ready. Now, if I were to put this about there, I reckon. There. Maybe. What I'm trying to look at is it's how far out it might come, and whether that would interfere with the chair. Now, how much space do we have? Bearing in mind that's not how much space do we have on this? Not much, but up here we have a bit. Yeah, we can probably just put that there, straight there. So give you a zoom in. So we'll aim to put that there or thereabouts, and hopefully that'll all come together. Now our other part, because we're considering for the other side, and I would suggest it's going to be a pretty easy option, is parts of it fit. The floor is much, much wider. However, actually something I can do right now. Give me a moment. I'm very gentle with this. Come on. I wonder if I need to get deep under onto it. No, it's coming. Come on. Aha. Come on. It's coming. Maybe if I could. Yeah, I'm probably going to get deep under onto this, I reckon. Wow. Oh, there we go. Now, here's some things I can show you. First, we can get this floor here, and you can see the two floors are much, much wider, or one is much wider than the other. So the use of the P-51B floor is just not going to happen. Yeah. Now, that said, things that can be used If we look at the chair, give me a moment, because the chair is around here somewhere. That's right, I trimmed it and I put it over there. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Where is it? Here's our chair. Now that, on the other hand, and we can't get quite the same angle on it, we can use, because while it's a bit wider at the same time, in fact, we can put this a bit more to the acid test now. Let's get that flat to there, and this, zoom out a bit, should go just there. So that'll fit. I'll just put it roughly there. So that'll fit with a bit of jiggery. That's loose and all the rest of it, but that'll go. And we should be able to get, I mean, I'll need to adjust the angle on that and da-da-da. It should be more obviously upright than that. A bit more like that. But you can't see because of my hands. But at the end of the day, let me see if I can get a good angle on it. Not quite. Anyway, point is, yes, we can use that. We can use the yoke, and we can use certain bits and bobs. So we may as well, in my eyes. Now, moving right along. Now, the other bit that I want to use is this. Pop that over to here. Being the hose for the breathing apparatus. And I reckon that should probably need to go. Would need to go above that. Oh, come here, yeah. Oh no. Hang on, stay cool, guys. There it is. Yeah, I remember that came off before. That came off. That's an easy thing to put on. It's actually the mouth part. But anyway, now that has done that, so that'll need to come here, you. Stop that. This will ultimately, I'll give you a zoom in once I've got this part of it in position. So that'll need to go about there, I would estimate. Yeah. Yep. So we're putting that about there. And then I'll glue that other bit in. I'll put that in the blue box in a minute. And that will create at least that part of the aircraft. So we've got a bit going on that we can put in. And actually I can put them both in. Sorry guys, I haven't zoomed you out. There. All right. So that's what we can do with some of those bits. That'll work for us. I might even, with this, can I get the frame out? Everything's coming up, Robster. All right. They'll put that to use and all. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Now, bing, zip. Oh, it is already zipped out. In that case, that is me done for today, guys. Now, what my plan is that tomorrow, because today I'm gonna hit all of that with Surfacer, and I would like maybe to hit a large part of it with the aluminium coat. I always do an aluminium pre-coat anyway. Doing one, I can get most of a large part of the painting done. Boom. And what the aim of the game would be is tomorrow, if I can come back and detail the cockpit, even get the interior green down, because that's all that's going to stop us from then going click, 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 because everything else is detailed. Winning. Alrighty. So, first time viewers, you know what I'm about to suggest. Follow, like, or subscribe. Everybody else, as always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's the way to roll, David. Now, other platforms. I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Bassman, and I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow. Because yes, indeed, I'll be on tomorrow. As I said, we'll be hitting that cockpit. What I want to do is get the P-51D up to where everything else is, like with the car with the 109A, so then we can get back up to speed, if you know what I'm saying, on the Mustang's aircraft and car, and then get it all happening. That's the plan. I might take a few days focus on that, but I don't mind that. Oh, I'm doing so much better, man. Thank you. Alrighty. So yes, I'll be back tomorrow, and like I said, we'll be hitting the interior of the cockpit. So at the end of the day, we all know the drill, people. I'll catch you tomorrow at a similar kit time and on the same kit channel. And hopefully I'll catch you good people then. See yous.